The carriage stops at dawn. No one moves. Snow falls thick over Wintercrest Castle. Black stone. Silver towers. A fortress built to cage monsters. Today it receives one wrapped in white silk. Inside the great hall, a king stands alone, 28 years old. Gray eyes hollow as winter, 2 years a widower. Tonight they demand he marry again. The doors open. A girl enters. 22. Scars hidden beneath gloves. 15 years sealed behind stone walls. Cursed bride. Dragon blood. The offering no one wanted. She walks toward him. Each step closer to a throne that will never be hers. The priest raises his blade. Do you accept this woman? The king looks at her. Really looks not at the dress. Not at the rumors, at the girl everyone called monster. And he says the one word that changes everything. No, the hall erupts. But beneath the chaos, something else stirs heat. Light. Fire spreading through the girl's veins. The seal is breaking. And when a dragon wakes after 1,000 years of silence, kingdoms burn, not from hatred. From truth finally allowed to breathe. The carriage stops. Ashes doesn't move. Outside, winter screams against the wooden frame. Ice cracks beneath the wheels. She can hear voices. Guards. Servants. The clatter of gates opening wide enough to swallow her whole. This is it. Wintercrest Castle. Her new prison, except they're calling it something else. Marriage. Alliance. Peace offering. Pretty words for the same truth. She's cargo. A cursed girl wrapped in white silk, delivered to a king who never asked for her. 22 years old. 15 of them locked behind stone walls. The memory sits heavy in her chest. Cold floors. Darker rooms. Priests with silver chains and prayers that felt like knives. They called it protection. Sealing. Mercy, she called it surviving. The door opens. Snow rushes in. So does a face. Young. Maybe 18. A servant girl with kind eyes and a forced smile. My lady, the girl says. Gentle. Too gentle. We've arrived. Ashes looks down at her hands. White gloves cover the scars. Silk hides the burn marks that never quite healed. She's been dressed like something valuable. Something worth keeping. She knows better. Thank you, Ashes whispers. Her voice sounds strange. She hasn't used it much. 15 years of silence teaches you that words are optional. Dangerous. Even the servant girl steps back. Ashes rises. Her legs shake. Not from fear. From cold. From the weight of a dress that doesn't fit. From the knowledge that in less than an hour, she'll stand before a man who will decide whether she lives or dies. She steps out into the snow. Wintercrest Castle is massive, black stone. Silver towers. Windows like eyes watching her stumble through the courtyard. Everything here is sharp. Angular. Built to keep things out, or in guards line the pathway. None of them look at her, not directly. But she feels their stares sliding sideways. Curious, wary. She's heard the rumors about herself. Cursed bride, dragon blood. The girl who shouldn't exist, let them stare. She's used to it. A man approaches, older, 60 maybe, robes the color of ashen bone, priest. She knows the type. They all carry the same smell. Incense and judgment, Miss Ravenswood, he says, formal, distant. I am High Priest Aldrich. I'll be officiating the ceremony. Ceremony. Such a clean word for what's about to happen, thank you. Ashes says again, she doesn't know what else to say. Politeness is armor. Thin armor, but armor nonetheless. Aldrich's eyes narrow, just slightly. He is studying her, looking for something. Signs of corruption, maybe. Evidence of the monster they've all been told she is. You understand what this union represents? He asks, and you consent? Consent. Ashes almost laughs. Almost. Because consent requires choice, and she's never had that. Not when they locked her away at 7. Not when they sealed her blood with fire and silver. Not when they handed her to the Southern Council like a problem to be solved. But she nods. Yes, Aldrich doesn't look convinced. He looks like a man who's seen too much and believes too little. But he gestures toward the castle doors. Then come. The great hall is colder than the snow outside. Stone walls, high ceilings, tapestries depicting wolves and war. Everything here screams history, legacy. Power Ashes walks alone down the center aisle. No father to give her away. He's been dead for 3 years. No mother, she died the night Ashes was born. No friends, no family, just her. A girl in white walking toward a man in black. He stands at the end of the hall. Alpha King Caden Wolfheart. Ashes has never seen him before. But she's heard stories. The young king who took the throne at 24. Who lost his wife 2 years ago. Who rules with ice in his veins and iron in his fists. She expects cruelty. She finds exhaustion instead. Caden is tall, broad-shouldered. Dark hair pulled back from a face that might be handsome if it wasn't so tired. He wears black armor etched with silver runes, wolf insignias. Symbols of a bloodline that goes back 1,000 years. His eyes are gray, empty gray, like windows to a room no one lives in anymore. Ashes stops 3 steps away. They don't speak. The hall is packed. Nobles, council members, witnesses to a union no one wants. She can hear them whispering, smell their perfume and their fear. They're waiting for something, a sign. Proof that she's the monster they've been promised. She keeps her hands folded, still. Aldrich clears his throat. We gather tonight, he begins, voice echoing off stone, to witness the union of Alpha King Caden Wolfheart and Miss Ashes Ravenswood. This marriage represents the end of conflict between the Northern Wolf Kingdom and the Southern Territories. A bond forged in peace. Peace, another pretty word for surrender. Aldrich turns to Caden. Do you, Caden Wolfheart, Alpha King of the North, accept this woman as your mate and queen? Silence. Ashes doesn't breathe. This is the moment. The pivot. He'll say yes, and her life will become his. She'll be wife. Queen. Possession. She's prepared for it. Spent 15 years preparing for someone else to own her. Caden looks at her, really looks. Not at the dress. Not at the rumors. At her. And then he speaks. No. The word drops like a stone into water. Ripples spread. Gasps. Murmurs. Confusion crackling through the hall like lightning. Ashes blinks. No, Aldrich stiffens. Your Majesty, I will not accept this marriage, Caden says. His voice is steady. Quiet, but it cuts through every whisper. Not because Miss Ravenswood is unworthy, but because she deserves more than a union built on obligation. Ash stares at him. More? He's still looking at her. Those gray eyes softer now. Sad. You deserve a marriage where you're chosen. Not traded, something in Ash's chest cracks, not breaks. Cracks. Because no one has ever said she deserves anything. The hall erupts. Noble show members, on their feet. Aldrich's face has gone white. But Ashes doesn't hear any of it. She's too focused on the heat spreading through her ribs. It starts small. A warmth beneath her sternum. Like a candle lit in a dark room. Then it grows hotter, brighter. She looks down. The white silk of her dress glows faintly, red gold. Not reflecting light, emitting it. No, not now. Miss Ravenswood? Aldrich's voice sounds distant, muffled. Ashes presses a hand to her chest. The heat intensifies. Her scars burn. The ones on her wrists. The ones hidden beneath gloves and silk. The seal. The priests carved it into her when she was 7. Pressed fire and silver into her skin until her blood forgot how to scream. But it's screaming now. I can't. She starts. The warmth explodes. Light pours out of her. Red gold flames licking up her arms. Not burning. Not consuming. Just existing. Bright and terrible and undeniable. The hall goes silent. Ashes stumbles backward. The flames rise higher. Wrapping around her shoulders. Curling through her hair. She can feel it trying to take shape. Wings. Scales. Something ancient clawing its way to the surface. Stay back, she gasps. But Caden doesn't. He steps forward. Everyone else is frozen. Guards with hands on swords. Nobles pressing against walls. Aldrich staring like he's witnessing the end of the world. Only Caden moves. He stops in front of her, close enough to burn. The flames reach for him, test him. But they don't touch. They bend around him like water around stone. You're afraid, he says. Calm. So calm Ashes nods. Can't speak. Can't think past the fire eating through 15 years of chains. It's all right, Caden says. You're safe. Safe. She's never been safe. But the way he says it, the way he stands there while flames dance between them. Like he means it, the fire wavers, softens, beckons to sink back into her skin. Ashes collapses. Caden catches her before she hits the floor. His arms are solid, steady. She can feel his heartbeat, slow and even. Not racing, not panicking. Just there, I've got you, he murmurs. And for the first time in 15 years, Ashes believes someone might. She wakes in a bed that isn't hers. Soft, warm, smelling like pine and smoke. She blinks at the ceiling. Wood beams. A stone hearth. Windows showing darkness outside where, you're awake. Ashes turns her head. A woman sits beside the bed. Late 20s. Brown hair pulled into a braid. Sharp features softened by concern. She's holding a cup of something that steams. Who? Briar Silvercrest. The woman says, Caden's sister-in-law. She pauses. Well, was. Technically sister-in-law. The late Queen's sister. Ashes tries to sit up. Pain shoots through her chest, not physical, deeper. The place where the seal used to sit feels raw. Exposed, careful. Briar says. She sets the cup on a side table. Whatever happened to you back there took a toll. Back there, the ceremony, the rejection, the fire, how long? 3 hours, Briar says. Caden carried you here himself. Refused to let anyone else touch you. Ashes stares at her hands. The gloves are gone, scars visible. Old burns crisscrossing her wrists like a map of pain. He saw these, she whispers. Yes, and he didn't. He didn't flinch, Briar finishes. Didn't judge. Just asked what you needed. That can't be right. Kings don't care about cursed girls. Men don't carry monsters to bed and ask what they need. Why? Ashes asks. Briar's expression softens. Sad. Understanding. Because Caden knows what it's like to be broken. The door opens. Aldrich enters. He looks older than he did 3 hours ago. Tired. Worn down by something heavy, Miss Ravenswood. He says, May I? Ashes nods. Briar stands. I'll give you privacy. She leaves. Aldrich moves to the chair she vacated. He sits slowly, like his bones hurt. What happened tonight, he begins, should not have been possible. Ashes waits. The seal I placed on you 15 years ago was designed to be permanent. To suppress your bloodline until... He stops. Swallows. Until it killed you. The words land flat. Expected. She's always known the seal was poison. Slow poison, but poison nonetheless. But it broke, she says. It shattered. Aldrich leans forward. Do you understand what that means? I'm dangerous. No, he shakes his head. You're free, free. Ashes tastes the word. It feels foreign. Wrong, I don't understand, Aldrich sighs. Long and heavy. Like he's been holding this secret for too long. The seal was never meant to protect others from you, he says quietly. It was meant to protect you from them. Ashes goes still. What? Your father, Aldrich continues. He came to me when you were 7, begged me to hide your bloodline. Dragon hunters were closing in. They'd already killed your mother. They would have killed you too, dragon hunters. Mother, I thought. Ashes stops. Resets. I thought he abandoned me. He sacrificed everything for you. Aldrich's voice cracks. Gave up his title, his lands. Spent every coin he had paying off hunters. And when that wasn't enough, he asked me to seal you. Make you invisible. Tears burn behind Ash's eyes. Hot, angry. Then why did it feel like prison? Because I was a coward, Aldrich admits. I told myself I was protecting you. But I was also protecting myself. Protecting the order. We kept you locked away because we were afraid of what you'd become. And now, Aldrich meets her gaze. Steady. Unflinching. Now you're exactly what you were always meant to be. Ashes doesn't sleep. She sits by the window watching snowfall. The castle is quiet. Peaceful. But her mind is chaos, fothered her. The seal was protection. She's free. Except she doesn't feel free. She feels unmoored. Like someone cut the ropes holding her down. And now she's drifting into open air with nothing to catch her. A knock soft. Come in, she says. The door opens. Caden. He's changed. No armor now. Just simple clothes. Black shirt. Dark trousers. He looks more human this way, less king. More man, I'm not disturbing you, he asks. No, he hesitates in the doorway. Like he's not sure he's allowed to enter. Kings don't hesitate. But this one does. May I sit? Ashes gestures to the chair by the hearth. He sits. They don't speak immediately, just exist in the same space. The fire crackles. Wind howls outside. Everything else is silence. Finally, Caden breaks it. I want to apologize. Ashes looks at him. For what? For refusing you tonight. His jaw tightens. It wasn't meant as an insult, I know, he blinks. Surprised you do? You said I deserved more. Ashes pulls her knees to her chest. No one's ever said that before. Caden's expression shifts. Pain flickers across his face. Brief but deep. Then people have failed you. People fail everyone. Not if I can help it. The words hang between them. Heavy. Honest. Ashes studies him, really looks. Not at the king, at the man underneath. The one with gray eyes and tired shoulders. The one who lost his wife. Who carries grief like a second skin. You don't have to save me, she says quietly. I'm not trying to save you. Caden leans forward. Elbows on knees. I'm trying to give you a choice. What choice? Stay. The word is simple. Small. But it cracks something open in Ash's chest. Stay, she echoes. Not as my wife, Caden clarifies quickly. Not as anything you don't want to be, but stay, here, in Wintercrest. As a guest, a friend, whatever you need. Ashes shakes her head. Why would you want that? Because... He stops. Looks at the fire. Because 2 years ago my wife died. And I've been dead with her ever since. His voice drops. But tonight when you fell, I felt something. Not love, not attraction. Just... He struggles for words. Connection. Like maybe I'm not the only person drowning. Ash's throat tightens. I'm not good at this, Caden admits. At people. At feelings. I'm better at strategy. At war. But you, he meets her eyes. You made me feel human again. The tears come without warning. Hot, silent Ashes presses a hand to her mouth, trying to hold them back. But they spill over anyway. Caden doesn't move, doesn't try to comfort her, just sits, steady. Present. I don't know how to be free, Ashes whispers through tears. Neither do I. She looks at him. Then what do we do? Caden smiles, sad. Fragile. The first real expression she's seen on his face. We learn together. Morning comes cold and bright. Ashes wakes to sunlight streaming through windows. She's still in her borrowed room. Still in clothes that don't quite fit, but something feels different, lighter. She rises, walks to the window. The courtyard below is busy. Servants moving supplies, guards changing shifts. Life continuing despite last night's chaos. A knock, come in. Briar enters carrying a tray, bread, cheese. Tea that smells like herbs and honey. Breakfast, she says, setting it on a small table. Figured you might be hungry. Ashes is. Starving, actually. She can't remember the last time she ate. She sits, takes bread. It's warm. Fresh, thank you, Briar lingers. Like she wants to say something but isn't sure how. What is it? Ashes asks. I owe you an apology. Ashes pauses mid-bite. For what? For hating you. Briar's voice is steady. Honest. When they said Caden was marrying again, She stops. Breathes. My sister was everything to me. And I thought you were trying to replace her. I'm not, I know. Briar sits across from her. I see that now. You're not trying to take anything. You're just trying to survive. Ashes sets the bread down. Your sister died in childbirth. Briar finishes. 2 years ago. The baby too. Her eyes glisten. Caden hasn't been the same since. I'm sorry. So am I. Briar wipes her eyes quickly. But last night, when he carried you, when he fought for you, she smiles. Sad but genuine. That was the first time he's fought for anything since she died. Ashes doesn't know what to say. So she says nothing. Just sits with Briar in shared silence. Two women mourning different losses, finding unexpected common ground. By afternoon, the castle is buzzing. Word has spread. The cursed bride, the broken seal. Dragon blood awakened. Everyone has an opinion. Most of them are whispered behind closed doors. Ashes hears them anyway. She's walking through the corridor when she passes 2 servants. They don't see her. Too busy talking. Dangerous. That's what I heard. Fire in the Great Hall. King's lost his mind. Ashes keeps walking. Let them talk. She's used to being the monster in other people's stories. She finds the library by accident. A massive room lined with books, floor to ceiling. Thousands of them. Leather spines. Gold lettering. Knowledge compressed into pages. She's never seen so many books in one place. Beautiful, isn't it? Ashes spins. A man stands in the doorway. Early 30s. Broad. Scarred. He wears the uniform of a captain. Sword at his hip. But his eyes are kind. I didn't mean to startle you, he says. I'm Kale, captain of the King's Guard. Ashes, I know. He steps inside. Moves toward the shelves with practiced ease. Caden said you might like it here. Thought I'd make sure you found your way. He sent you to check on me? He asked me to make sure you felt safe. Kale pulls a book from a shelf, studies the cover. There's a difference. Safe, that word again. I don't need protection, Ashes says. Everyone needs protection. KL replaces the book, turns to face her. Even dragons. Ashes tenses. You know what I am. I know what people say you are. He crosses his arms. But I also know Caden. He doesn't offer sanctuary to monsters. Maybe he made a mistake. Caden doesn't make mistakes. Kale's expression softens. He makes choices. Hard ones. And he chose to protect you. Why? Because… Kale pauses. Considers. Because he sees something in you that you don't see in yourself yet. What's that? Strength. The word sits between them. Heavy. True. Ashes looks at the shelves. At all those books. All that knowledge. All those stories about heroes and villains and people caught in between. I don't feel strong, she admits. No one does, Kale says. Not at first. That night, Ashes is summoned to dinner. Not a grand affair. Just Caden, Briar, Kale, Aldrich. Small table in a private room. Intimate. Strange. Ashes sits at the end, uncertain. Out of place. Caden is across from her. He looks tired, like he's been in meetings all day. Probably has. Thank you for joining us, he says. Ashes nods. Doesn't trust her voice. Food is served. Simple but good. Roasted meat, bread, vegetables. Nothing fancy. Nothing poisoned, she hopes. They eat in silence for a while. Then Briar speaks, so she looks at Ashes. What did you think of the library? It's… Ashes searches for words. Big. Kay laughs. Warm. Real. Big is one word for it. Do you read? Briar asks. Ashes hesitates. I never learned. Not properly. The table goes quiet. Caden sets down his fork. The priest didn't teach you? They taught me prayers, Ashes says. Not reading. Something dark crosses Caden's face. Anger. Tightly controlled. That changes tomorrow, he says. What? I'll teach you. He says it like it's decided. Final. Every afternoon. An hour. Until you can read every book in that library if you want. Ashes stares at him. A king. Offering to teach her. Why would you? Because knowledge is power, Caden interrupts. And you've earned the right to it. That word again. Earned. Ashes' eyes burn. She blinks hard, refuses to cry in front of them. Thank you, she whispers. Caden nods. You're welcome. Later, Ashes finds herself on the battlements. Cold, windy. But the view is stunning. Snow-covered mountains. Forest stretching endlessly. Stars bright and sharp overhead. She breathes deep. For the first time in 15 years, the air tastes like freedom. You'll freeze up here, she turns. Caden. He's holding a cloak. Thick. Fur-lined. Thought you might need this, he says. Ashes takes it. Wraps it around her shoulders. It's warm. Smells like him. Pine and smoke, thank you. He leans against the stone wall. Looks out at the view. They stand in silence. Comfortable silence, finally. Ashes speaks.
Why did you really refuse me?
Caden doesn't answer immediately. Just watches the snow because he says eventually, I spent 2 years drowning in grief. Pretending I was fine. Ruling like a ghost. He turns to her. And when I saw you tonight, scared. Trapped. Expected to marry a stranger. He shakes his head. I couldn't do it. Couldn't force you into the same cage I've been living in. Ash's throat tightens. But now the council will pressure you to marry someone else. Let them. Caden's voice is firm. I'm done making decisions based on fear, even if it costs you the throne. Even then, they look at each other. Two broken people, standing in the snow. Choosing something different. I want to stay, Ashes says suddenly. The words tumble out before she can stop them. Not as your wife, not as anything, just. She struggles. As me. Caden's expression softens. Then stay. And in that moment, standing on frozen stone beneath winter stars, Ashes Ravenswood begins to believe that maybe freedom isn't a place. Maybe it's a choice. And maybe, just maybe, she's finally allowed to make one. 3 weeks pass like snow melting, slow, inevitable, transformative. Ashes wakes every morning in the borrowed room that's starting to feel like hers. The servants no longer flinch when she passes. The guards nod respectfully. Even the kitchen staff has stopped whispering when she enters for breakfast. Small victories. She'll take them. Today, like every day, she finds Caden in the library at noon. He's already there. Books spread across the table. Ink-stained fingers. Hair falling into his eyes. He looks up when she enters. Ready? He asks. Always. It's become their ritual. 1 hour. Every afternoon. He teaches her letters. Sounds. words that connect into sentences. She's a fast learner. Desperate to catch up on 15 years of silence, today they're reading poetry. Old verse about wolves in winter and love that conquers death. Romantic nonsense, probably. But Ashes finds herself liking it anyway. Here, Caden slides a book toward her. Try this one. She reads slowly, carefully, her voice still uncertain with the weight of language, the heart that breaks in winter. Learns to bloom in spring. She pauses. Looks up. That's beautiful. It's also true, Caden says quietly. Their eyes meet, hold. Something electric passes between them. Not quite touch, not quite words, just recognition. Two people who've been broken learning to exist in the same space. Ashes looks away first. What's next? She asks. Caden clears his throat. Next the door bursts open. Kale stands there. Breathing hard. Armor askew, sire. We have a problem. The council room is chaos. Voices overlapping. Accusations flying. Lord Matthias Thornfield stands at the center. Caden's uncle, mid-40s, silver hair. Sharp eyes that miss nothing. Dangerous eyes. Ashes hangs back. Tries to be invisible. But Matthias sees her anyway. His gaze slides over. Assessing. Calculating. She doesn't like it. The reports are clear, Matthias says. Voice smooth. Practiced. There have been 3 attacks on outer villages in the past week. Fires. Destruction. Witnesses describe. He pauses dramatically. A creature. With wings, the room goes silent. All eyes turn to Ashes. That's impossible. Caden says. Cold. Controlled. Miss Ravenswood has been here. Under supervision, has she? Matthias raises an eyebrow. Or has she been given free reign of the castle? Access to the battlements. The freedom to come and go as she pleases? She's a guest, Caden says. Not a prisoner. Perhaps she should be. The words land like stones. Ashes feels her chest tighten. Heat building. The fire that lives beneath her skin stretches. Tests the boundaries. Not now, please, not now, uncle. Caden's voice drops. Warning. You will not speak of her that way. I speak only truth. Matthias spreads his hands. Reasonable. Calm. If she is innocent, then she has nothing to fear from an investigation, and if she's not, asks Lord Garrick. Older. Battle-scared. What then? Do we risk the entire kingdom for one girl? She's not just one girl, Briar says suddenly. Everyone turns. Briar stands near the window, arms crossed. Expression fierce. She's a person, Briar continues, who's done nothing but try to survive. And you're treating her like a monster. Because she might be, Matthias says gently. Too gently. I don't say this with malice. Only concern. For the kingdom, for the king. He looks at Caden. You've been through so much, nephew. Lost so much. I only want to protect you from making a mistake. Ashes sees it then, the manipulations, the way Matthias wraps poison in kindness. Makes cruelty sound like love. She's seen it before. In priests who said they were helping. In guards who claimed to protect. I'm not a mistake, she says. Her voice is quiet, but it cuts through the noise. Everyone stares. I'm not a mistake, she repeats. Louder now. And I didn't attack those villages. Can you prove it? Matthias asks. Can you prove I did? Silence, Matthias smiles. Thin, knowing, of course not. Which is why I propose we simply increase security. For everyone's safety, meaning? Caden asks. Meaning Miss Ravenswood agrees to certain restrictions. Until we can be certain she's not a threat. No, Caden says immediately. Your Majesty? I said no. Caden stands. This meeting is over. Matthias doesn't move. Just watches. Like a cat watching a mouse. As you wish, he says finally. But when the next village burns. Remember who offered a solution. He leaves the room empty slowly. Council members avoiding Ash's eyes. Guilty. Afraid. Convinced. Soon only Caden, Briar, Kale, and Ashes remain. He's lying, Kale says. About the attacks, I'd bet my sword on it, then find proof. Caden orders. Check every village. Every witness. I want to know exactly what happened. Kale nods. Leaves. Briar approaches Ashes. Are you all right? I'm fine. You're shaking. Ashes looks at her hands. Briar's right. Trembling. From anger. From fear. From the effort of keeping fire contained. I didn't do it, she whispers. I know, Briar says. Firm. Absolute. And we'll prove it. That night, Ashes can't sleep. She paces her room. Mind racing. Matthias' words echoing. Monster. Threat. Mistake. She's heard them before, but hearing them here. In the place that was starting to feel safe, it cuts deeper. A knock soft. She freezes. It's me, Caden's voice. Muffled through wood, she opens the door. He's dressed for sleep. Loose pants. Hair damp like he's just bathed. He looks younger this way. Less king. More man. I couldn't sleep either, he admits. Because of the council? Because of you. Ashes blinks. Caden steps inside. Closes the door. Stands there awkward. Uncertain. I keep thinking, he says, about what Matthias said. About you being a mistake. His jaw tightens. And I keep thinking how wrong he is he? Ashes sits on the edge of her bed, exhausted. Maybe I am dangerous. Maybe I should be locked away. Stop, I mean it. What if I hurt someone without meaning to? What if Ashes, Caden crosses the room, kneels in front of her, eye level. Look at me, she does. His eyes are gray fire, intense, burning with something she can't name. You are not dangerous, he says. You're powerful. There's a difference. What difference? Dangerous means you want to hurt people. Powerful means you could. But you don't, he takes her hands. Careful. Gentle. I've watched you for 3 weeks. Seen you control fire that could burn this castle to ash. And you don't. Because you choose not to. Tears prick Ash's eyes. That's control, Caden continues. That's strength. That's everything Matthias wishes he had. He wants me gone. He wants power. Caden's grip tightens. And he sees you as competition. Why would I compete with him? Because Caden stops, searches her face. Because I think he knows what I'm only starting to realize. What? That you're not just powerful. You're important. To me, the words hang between them. Heavy, fragile, true. His breath catches. Caden, I'm not asking for anything, he says quickly. I'm just telling you. So you know that you matter here. To me, her heart does something complicated. Painful. Wonderful. You matter to me too, she whispers. Caden exhales. Relief. Joy. Something raw and unguarded. They stay like that. Him kneeling. Her sitting, hands clasped. The space between them charged with everything they're not saying. Finally, Caden stands. I should let you sleep. Stay, he freezes. What? Stay. Ashes swallows. Not like that. Just don't go. Please, Caden nods slowly. He sits in the chair by the hearth. She lies down. They exist in the same room, breathing, existing, together. And for the first time in weeks, Ashes sleeps without nightmares. Morning brings new problems. Cale returns with news. Bad news. The attacks were real, he says. They're in Caden's study. Private secure. 3 villages, all damaged. But, he pauses. No one saw a dragon. What did they see? Caden asks. Fire. Coming from the forest. Not the sky. Cale spreads a map on the desks. Here, here, and here. All on the western border, near Thornfield lands. Briar notes Matthias territory. Could be coincidence, Cale says. But he doesn't believe it. Neither does anyone else. He's framing her. Ashes says quietly. Everyone looks at her. He's creating evidence. She continues. So when he demands I be locked up, or worse, he has justification, but why? Briar asks. What does he gain? Leverage, Caden says grimly. If I refuse to imprison Ashes, I look weak, sentimental, unfit to rule, and if you do imprison her? Cale asks. Then I prove I can be controlled. Silence falls. They're trapped. Every option leads to Matthias winning. Unless, Ashes says slowly, we prove he's lying. How? Briar asks. He's covered his tracks, has he? Ashes stands. Walks to the map. Studies it. These attacks. They're all near his lands. That means his people are involved. Paid off, probably, Cale mutters. Or threatened. Ashes looks at Caden. Let me go to one of the villages. Talk to the witnesses. People are more honest when they're not afraid. Absolutely not, Caden says immediately. Why? Because if Matthias finds out, he'll use it against you. Say you're returning to the scene. Confirming guilt, then I'll go in secret. Ashes, Caden. She meets his eyes. I can't just hide here, waiting for him to destroy me. I have to fight back. He stares at her. War playing across his face. Fear. Pride. Frustration. Fine, he says finally. But I'm coming with you. They leave at dawn. 2 horses. Simple clothes. Ashes wears a hood. Caden wears also a hood. Not very creative, but functional. Cale wanted to come. Caden refused. Said he needed someone to watch the castle. Keep Matthias occupied. Translation. Keep Matthias from realizing. They're gone. The village is half a day's ride. They travel in comfortable silence. Ashes has gotten better at riding. Still not graceful, but functional. Caden rides beside her, occasionally glancing over, making sure she's all right. It's nice. Hating someone who checks. You're staring, she says. You're worth staring at. Ashes nearly falls off her horse. Caden laughs. Genuine, warm. The sound transforms his face, makes him look young. Free, that was unfair, Ashes mutters. But true, she doesn't know how to respond. So she doesn't. Just rides, feeling her cheeks burn. They reach the village by midday. It's small. Maybe 50 buildings, most made of wood and hope. The damage is obvious. Burned homes. Scorched earth, people rebuilding with tired hands and scared eyes. They dismount. Approach carefully. An older woman sees them first. 60s. Gray hair. Weathered face that's seen too much. Help you? She asks. Wary, we're looking for information, Caden says. Voice low. Unrecognizable as King. About the attack, the woman's eyes narrow. You with the council? No, Ashes says quickly. We're independent. Independent, the woman repeats. Skeptical. Then her gaze lands on Ashes' face. Lingers. You're her. The dragon girl. Ashes tenses. Ready to run. But the woman doesn't look afraid. She looks relieved. Thank the gods. The woman breathes. I was hoping you'd come. Her name is Mara. She leads them to what's left of her home. They sit in the ash-covered kitchen. She makes tea from supplies salvaged from the wreckage. You have to understand, Mara begins. We're not stupid. We know when we're being lied to. Lied to? Caden asks. By Lord Matthias' men. Mara sips her tea, bitter. They came the day before the fire. Told us there might be trouble. Said to stay inside after dark. And? Ashes prompts. And the next night, fire came from the forest. Not the sky. We saw them. Mara leans forward, men with torches, setting flames. Then running. Did you report this? Caden asks. To who? Matthias' men were the ones investigating. Mara laughs. Hollow. They wrote down what they wanted. Said it was a dragon. That we were lucky to survive. But you know better, Ashes says. We know lies when we hear them. Mara looks at Ashes. Really looks. And we know innocence when we see it. Ashes' throat tightens. Why tell us, she asks. You could stay silent. Stay safe, because I'm tired of safe. Mara sets down her tea. My husband died in those flames. Not from dragon fire, from murder. And I won't let his death be used for some lord's political games. Caden leans back. Processing, will you testify? He asks. Before the council? Will it matter? Mara counters. Will anyone believe a peasant over a lord? They will if their king demands it. Mara goes still. King? Caden pulls back his hood. Mara's eyes widen. She starts to kneel. Don't, Caden says quickly. Please, you've been through enough. Mara stays seated, but her expression shifts. Away. Fear. Hope. You're really here, she whispers. Why? Because she's innocent, Caden says simply, looking at Ashes. And I won't let innocent people suffer. They visit 2 more villages. Same story. Different faces. Men with torches. Fire from the ground. Witnesses pressured to lie. By the time they return to Wintercrest, Ashes feels sick not from fear, from anger. Matthias did this. Killed people. Destroyed homes. All to frame her. To gain power. We have testimony, Caden says as they ride through the gates. Witnesses. Evidence. Will it be enough? Ashes asks. It has to be. But his voice wavers. Uncertain, the council convenes the next morning, every lord present. Every council member. Matthias front and center. Smiling, confident, Caden presents the evidence. Witness statement, maps. Timelines proving Ashes was in the castle during the attacks. Matthias listens, patient. Calm when Caden finishes, Matthias stands. These testimonies are compelling, he says. Truly. But they prove nothing. They prove she's innocent, Cale snaps. They prove she wasn't physically present, Matthias corrects. But dragonfire doesn't require physical presence. It can be projected. Through magic, murmurs ripple through the council. That's not how it works, Ashes says, isn't it? Matthias turns to her. You're the expert on dragon magic, are you? You who've been sealed for 15 years? Who only recently awakened? Ashes falters. Because he's right. She doesn't know, doesn't understand her own power yet. Matthias sees the doubt. Presses, sire, he says to Caden. I propose a simple test to prove Miss Ravenswood's control. And innocence. What test? Caden asks. Suspicious. Let her demonstrate her power. Here now. Show us that she can control fire without endangering anyone. The room goes silent. It's a trap. Ashes knows it. Everyone knows it. But refusing looks guilty. I'll do it, she says. Ashes Caden starts. I'll do it, she repeats. Firm Matthias smiles. Excellent. They move to the courtyard safer. Open air. Stone everywhere. The council watches from the battlements. Ashes stands in the center. Alone, Caden wanted to stay beside her. She refused. This is her fight. Matthias explains the test. Simple, he says. Create fire. Control it. Then extinguish it. Without harming anyone or anything, Ashes nods. She closes her eyes, breathes, reaches inside for the heat that lives beneath her skin. It responds immediately. Eager, hungry, fire blooms in her palms. Small, controlled. She's been practicing, alone in her room, learning to shape it, bend it. The flames grow, larger, brighter. She can feel everyone watching, judging, waiting for her to fail. The fire rises higher. She's in control. She knows she is. But then something changes. The flames flare. Suddenly, violently, too hot, too fast, Ash gasps, tries to pull back. But the fire doesn't listen. It expands. Races across the courtyard, toward the guards lining the walls. No, 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 no. She slams her will against it, forces it down, back. Into herself, the fire vanishes. Instant cleaved Ashes collapses, breathing hard, skin smoking. But unburned, silence. Then Matthias speaks, you see. His voice carries, reasonable, regretful. She cannot control it. She is a danger to us all. She stopped it, Briar shouts, from the battlements. After nearly killing my guards, Matthias counters. Because someone tampered with her, Kale says. Stepping forward, everyone turns. What? Matthias asks. Too calm. The fire didn't flare naturally, Kale continues. It was forced, I saw it. He points at Matthias. You did something. That's absurd, is it? Kale walks to where Matthias stands. Because I also found this in your quarters. He holds up a vial. Small, glass, filled with dark liquid. Dragon's bane, Kale announces. A poison that inflames dragon blood. Makes it uncontrollable. Gasps ripple through the council. Matthias' face goes pale, then red. You searched my private chambers? On the king's orders, Kale says. Looking at Caden, who nods. Matthias turns to his nephew. I dare protect my people, Caden says. Cold, final. Including Ashes. Matthias laughs. Bitter. Angry. Your people? She's not your people. She's a monster you've let into your bed. Caden moves faster than thought. One moment he's on the battlements. The next he's in the courtyard. Fist connecting with Matthias' jaw, the sound cracks like thunder. Matthias hits the ground, blood on his lip. Shock in his eyes. Say that again, Caden says quietly. I dare you. Matthias stays down, smart man. Caden turns to the council. Lord Matthias Thornfield is hereby stripped of his titles and lands. He will be confined pending trial for murder, arson, and treason. Guards move forward. Grab Matthias. Drag him away. He doesn't fight. Just stares at Ashes with pure hatred. She stares back, unflinching. That night, Ashes finds Caden in the library. He's alone. Staring at a book he's not reading. Your hand, she says. He looks down. Knuckles, split. Bruised, worth it, he says. Ashes sits beside him. Takes his hand. Examines the damage. You didn't have to do that. Yes, I did. Why? Because... Caden stops. Looks at her. Really looks. Because I'm tired of people hurting you. Ash's heart does that complicated thing again. Caden. I know, he says quickly. I know we're not that this isn't. I'm not asking for I just. He struggles. I just need you to know that you're not alone anymore. Tears burn Ash's eyes. I know, she whispers. They sit in silence, his hand in hers, warmth spreading between them that has nothing to do with fire. Finally, Caden speaks again. There's something I need to tell you. What? My wife. He swallows. Before she died, she made me promise something. Ashes waits. She made me promise that if I ever found someone who made me feel alive again, I wouldn't let fear stop me, and? Ashes asks softly. And you make me feel alive. Caden meets her eyes, vulnerable, open. For the first time in 2 years, I feel something other than grief. Ashes can't breathe, can't think, can only feel. I'm not asking you to love me, Caden continues. I'm just telling you, so you know, that this, Whatever this is. It matters to me. Ashes squeezes his hand. It matters to me too, she whispers. Caden exhales. Relief. Joy, fear, good. He's good. They don't kiss, don't confess eternal love, just sit together. In a library full of stories, writing their own. 2 weeks later, Matthias is tried. Found guilty, sentenced to exile, not execution. Caden refuses to kill him. Says enough blood has been spilled. Ashes agrees, though part of her, a small dark part, wishes for harsher punishment. She's learning to live with that part, the anger, the fear, the fire, they're all pieces of her. And she's learning to accept them. On the day Matthias leaves, he pauses by Ashes. Guards on either side. Chains on his wrists. This isn't over, he says quietly. Yes, it is, Ashes replies. You think you've won. But you're wrong. Matthias leans closer. One day, Caden will see what you really are. And when he does, he already sees. Ashes interrupts. All of me. And he's still here. Matthias has no response to that. He's dragged away gun. Ashes watches until he disappears, then turns. Caden is waiting. Hand extended. She takes it. And they walk back into the castle, together. That night, Ashes stands on the battlements. Same place she stood weeks ago. When everything was new and terrifying, it's still terrifying. But also beautiful. Thought I'd find you here, Briar. She joins Ashes at the wall. They stand side by side, looking at stars. Thank you, Ashes says. For what? For believing me. When no one else did, Briar smiles. Sad. Warm. I didn't believe you at first, she admits. I wanted to hate you, I know. But then I saw how Caden looked at you. Like you hung the moon. Briar's voice softens, and I realized. You're not trying to replace my sister. You're just trying to live. Ash's throat tightens. I miss her, Briar continues. Every day. But I think she'd be happy. Knowing Caden found someone who makes him smile again. I don't want to cause you pain. You're not. Briar turns to her. You're giving me hope. That maybe I can find that too. Find what? Someone who sees me. Really sees me. The way Caden sees you. Ashes takes Briar's hand. Squeezes. You will, she says. I know you will. They stand together. Two women who lost so much, finding something new. Winter melts into spring. Slowly. Inevitably, Ashes spends mornings in the library. Learning. Reading. Absorbing 15 years of lost knowledge. Afternoons in the courtyard. Training. Learning to control her fire. Shape it. Use it. Evenings with Caden. Talking. Laughing. Existing. Falling. Because that's what this is. Fallings. Slowly. Terrifyingly. Beautifully. One night they're in the garden, spring flowers blooming, air warm, stars bright. Caden takes her hand. I need to ask you something, he says. What? Will you? He stops, breathes. Will you stay? Not as a guest, not as someone I'm protecting, but as mine. Ash's heart stops. Yours? She whispers. If you'll have me, Caden's voice shakes. I know I'm broken. I know I'm not what you need. But Ashes kisses him, soft, quick. Brave. When she pulls back, Caden stares, stunned. Was that? Yes, Ashes says. Yes, I'll stay. Yes, I'm yours. Yes to all of it. Caden's face transforms. Joy, pure and unguarded. He kisses her back deeper, longer, full of promise. They break apart. Breathless, I love you, he says, like he's been holding it in for months. I love you and I'm terrified and I don't care. I love you. Ashes laughs, cries, both. I love you too, she whispers. And in that garden, under spring stars, two broken people become something whole. Spring becomes summer, and with summer comes truth. Ashes wakes to sunlight, streaming through windows she now calls her own. Not the guest room anymore. Caden's. Their chambers. 7 months since the wedding that wasn't. 7 months of learning to be someone new. She stretches, reaches for Caden empty space. He's already up, probably in meetings, being king. Doing the things kings do. She rises. Dresses. Simple clothes. Trousers. Tunic. She's given up on gowns unless absolutely necessary. They're impractical. Restrictive. She prefers freedom. A knock. Come in. Aldrich enters. He looks older every time she sees him. 65 now. Maybe more. But his eyes are still sharp. Knowing Miss Ravenswood, he says. Then corrects himself. Forgive me. Lady Ashes. She's not technically lady of anything. But people call her that anyway. Caden's almost wife. Almost queen, soon to be official. The thought terrifies her. Aldrich. She greets. Is something wrong? Not wrong. Just complicated. He sits without asking. Tired. I need to tell you something. About your seal? Ashes goes still. What about it? When I sealed you 15 years ago, I didn't just lock away your fire. Aldrich's hand shakes slightly. I locked away your memories. The room tilts. What? Your father asked me to. He said there were things you'd seen. Things that would haunt you. Aldrich meets her eyes. Things about your mother's death. Ashes sits down hard. Mother. She's never remembered her mother. Only fragments. Fire. Screaming. Blood. What thing? She whispers. Your mother didn't die in childbirth. Aldrich's voice cracks. She was murdered by dragon hunters. When you were 3 days old, the world stops. 3 days? You saw it happen. You were too young to understand, but old enough to remember. Aldrich pulls out a small vial from his robes. Dark liquid. This will restore what I took. But Ashes, once you remember, you can't forget again. Ashes stares at the vial. Knowledge, truth, pain all waiting in liquid form. Does Caden know? She asks. No. I came to you first. Why? Because it's your choice. Aldrich sets the vial on the table. Your memories. Your decision. He leaves. Ashes stares at the vial for a long time. She finds Caden in the training yard, shirtless, sweating, sparring with Kale. The summer heat makes everything shimmer. Unreal. Caden's her. Stops mid-swing. Ashes. He grabs a towel. Wipes his face. What's wrong? Everything. Nothing. She doesn't know. Can we talk? She asks. Of course. They walk to the gardens. Private. Quiet. Roses blooming everywhere. Red and white and pink. Beautiful. Caden waits. Patient. He's learned not to push. To let her come to him. Aldrich gave me something. Ashes begins. A way to restore my memories. From before the seal, Caden's expression shifts. Concern. Memories of what? My mother. Her death. Ashes sits on a stone bench. Apparently I saw it. I was 3 days old. And I watched her die. Caden sits beside her. Close but not touching. Giving her space. Do you want to remember? He asks. I don't know. Ashes looks at the roses. What if it's worse than I think? What if I see something I can't unsee? Then we'll deal with it. Together you say that like it's simple. It is simple. Caden takes her hand. You're not alone anymore. Whatever you remember, whatever you face, I'm here. Ashes squeezes his fingers. What if it changes me? Then it changes you. Caden's voice is firm. And I'll love whoever you become. The words hit like sunlight. Warm, true. You really mean that, she says. Not a question, I really do. That night, Ashes takes the vial. Caden is with her. Briar too. And Kale. Her people. Such a strange thought. Family. She uncorks the vial. Dark liquid. Smells like earth and something older. Magic, ready? Briar asks. No. Ashes lifts the vial. But I'm doing it anyway. She drinks. Bitter. Cold. Wrong for a moment. Nothing. Then everything. Memory floods in. A small room. Warm. Safe. Ashes is 3 days old. Wrapped in blankets, a woman holds her. Beautiful. Red hair. Golden eyes. Mother. She's singing. Soft. Gentle. Hush, little dragon. Don't you cry. Mama's going to sing you a lullaby. The door crashes open. Men armor. Swords with silver edges. Dragon hunters. Mother moves fast. Puts baby Ashes in a basket. Covers her with blankets. Stay quiet, Mother whispers. Please. Stay quiet. The men advance. Where is it? The leader demands. Where's the dragon spawn? I don't know what you're talking about. Mother's voice shakes Liar. The man grabs her. We know you gave birth. We know it has your blood. She's just a baby. She's an abomination. The man raises his sword. Mother screams. Fire explodes from her. Red and gold and desperate. It throws the men back. Burns their armor. But there are too many. They stab her. Once. Twice. Silver sinking deep. Mother falls. Blood spreads across the floor. Red. So much red. From the basket, baby Ashes makes a sound small. Frightened, the leader hears. Turns. Walks toward the basket. Mother's hand shoots out. Grabs his ankle. Run, she gasps. Not to the baby. To someone else, a man appears. Ash's father. Young. Terrified. He grabs the basket. Runs the hunter's chase. But Mother's fire blocks the door. Her last act. Protecting. Always protecting. Present Ashes gasps. Returns to now. She's on the floor. Caden holding her. Briar's hand on her shoulder. Kale standing guard like threats might appear. Breathe, Caden murmurs. Just breathe. Ashes sobs. Can't stop, can't control it. She saw. She everything, my mother. She chokes out. She died for me, I know, Caden says, rocking her. I know she could have run, could have saved herself. But she stayed. Ashes grips Caden's shirt. Why? Why would she do that? Because she loved you, Briar says quietly. Tears on her face too. That's what mothers do. Ashes cries harder. For the mother she never knew. For the sacrifice she never understood. For 15 years of thinking she was cursed, when really she was loved, so deeply loved. Morning comes eventually, exhausted, raw, but also clear. Ashes knows who she is now, where she came from, what her mother gave up. She finds Aldrich in the chapel, praying. He looks up when she enters, sees her face. Knows? You remember, he says. Everything. I'm sorry. For hiding it so long, don't be. Ashes sits beside him. You were protecting me. Like my father. Like my mother. They loved you very much, I know. Ashes pauses. But I need to ask. The hunters, are they still active? Aldrich's face darkens. Yes, fewer now. But they exist. Waiting for what? For dragons to resurface. Ashes feels fire stir in her chest. Not anger. Purpose. Then they're about to get their wish. The council meets 3 days later. Ashes requested it. Not Caden. Her first time she's initiated anything political. The council members look nervous. They remember Matthias, his schemes, his fall. Ashes stands at the head of the table, Caden beside her. Support. Not control, I have an announcement, she begins. Voice steady. I'm publicly claiming my heritage. Dragon blood. Ashborn line. All of it. Murmurs ripple through the room. Lord Garrick leans forward. Why now? Because hiding protects no one. Ashes looks around the table. Dragon hunters are still active. Searching. And as long as they think we're gone, they'll keep killing anyone they suspect. And if they know you're here, another lord asks, won't they attack? Probably. Ashes doesn't flinch. But I'm not a 3-day-old baby anymore. I can fight back. You mean to go to war? Garrick demands, I mean to stop hiding. Ashes leans on the table. And I need your support. Not just for me, for everyone with old blood. Dragon. Phoenix. Any line they've hunted. Silence. Heavy. Then Caden speaks. I support this. Every eye turns to him. The Ashborn line isn't a threat, Caden continues. It's part of our history, our strength. And I won't let fear dictate policy anymore. But sire, no, Caden's voice hardens. We spent 1,000 years burying truth, creating monsters from myths. It ends now. He looks at Ashes. She's not my prisoner. She's my partner. And if you can't accept that, there's the door. No one moves. Good. Then it's decided, Caden says. We make the announcement in 1 week. Give people time to prepare. Prepare for what? Garrick asks. Change, Ashes says simply. News spreads fast. By week's end, the entire kingdom knows. Dragon blood. Living in the castle. About to be recognized officially. Reactions are mixed. Some are terrified. Pack their belongings. Prepare to flee. Others are curious. Hopeful. Maybe this means other old lines can emerge too. A few are angry, very angry. One of them is at the gates now. Ashes watches from the battlements as the crowd gathers. 50, 70, 100 people. Torches, signs. Voices raised in fury. Monster, demon, send her back. Caden appears beside her. Jaw tight, I can have them dispersed. He offers no. Ashes straightens. I should talk to them, Ashes. They're scared. I understand scared. She looks at him. Let me try. Caden hesitates. Then nods. Kale goes with you, deal. Ashes walks out the main gates. Kale behind her. 20 guards surrounding them. Protection. Not threat, the crowd goes quiet. Shocked. She's coming to them. Ashes stops 10 feet away. Close enough to be heard. Far enough to be safe. I know you're afraid, she calls out. Voice carrying. I understand. I've been afraid my entire life. You're a monster, someone shouts. Maybe, Ashes doesn't deny it. But I'm also a person who's been locked away. Sealed. Hidden. Because people like you decided I was too dangerous to exist. You are dangerous. Yes, Ashes steps forward. Kale tenses but doesn't stop her. I am dangerous. I have power that could burn this city. But do you know what I've done with that power? Silence. Nothing. Ashes spreads her hands. I've lived here 7 months, walked your streets, shopped in your markets, and I've hurt no one. Yet, someone mutters. Ever? Ashes corrects. Because being powerful doesn't make me evil. It makes me responsible. She looks around the crowd, sees faces. Fear, anger, confusion. I'm not asking you to love me, she continues. I'm asking you to give me a chance. To see that I'm not what you've been told. I'm just trying to live, a woman steps forward. Middle-aged, worn hands. Farmer, probably my daughter, the woman says. Voice shaking. She has fire in her veins. Since she was born, we've been hiding it, praying no one notices. Ash's chest tightens. How old? She asks gently. 7. The age Ashes was sealed. Bring her to the castle, Ashes says. I'll teach her. Help her control it. Keep her safe. The woman's eyes fill with tears. You'd do that? Yes. Ashes looks at the crowd. For anyone who needs it. I won't let another child go through what I did. The crowd shifts. Uncertain. The anger bleeding into something else. Hope? Maybe an old man speaks up. What about the hunters? What about them? Ashes asks. They'll come for you. For anyone you protect. Then they'll have to go through me first. Ash's voice hardens. And I promise. They won't find me as easy to kill as my mother was. Fire flickers in her palms. Just for a moment, controlled. Beautiful. The crowd gasps. But doesn't run. I'm not your enemy, Ashes says, fire fading. But I will be theirs. Anyone who hurts children, who murders innocents. They're the monsters, she turns. Walks back toward the gates. The crowd doesn't follow. Doesn't shout, just watches. Thinking. 3 days later, the farmer brings her daughter. Small, scared. 7 years old with red hair and golden eyes. Just like Ash's mother. This is Clara, the farmer says. Protective hand on the girl's shoulder. Ashes kneels. Eye level. Hello, Clara. Are you really a dragon? Clara whispers. Part of me is. Yes, does it hurt? The question catches Ashes off guard. Sometimes. When I fight it. But when I accept it, it feels right. Clara nods. Serious. Mama says you'll teach me. If you want to learn, I want to not be scared anymore. Ash's throat tightens. She knows that feeling. Intimately. Then we'll learn together. Training Clara becomes routine. Every morning. 2 hours. In the courtyard, they start small. Candle flames, controlled burns. Learning to summon fire and dismiss it. Clara is a natural. Learns fast. Laughs when she succeeds. It heals something in Ashes. Watching this child embrace what she is. Without shame. Without fear. This is what freedom looks like. Caden watches sometimes. From the battlements. Smiling. You're good with her, he says one afternoon. She's easy to teach. Eager. She reminds you of yourself. Ashes considers. No. She reminds me of what I could have been. If someone had helped me sooner, then you're giving her a gift. I'm giving her a choice. Ashes looks at Clara, playing with fire, giggling. No one gave me that. Caden takes her hand. I'm sorry, don't be. Ashes squeezes. It led me here. To you. Summer fades into autumn, leaves turning gold. Everything changing. More children come. 10, 15, each with some touch of old magic. Fire, air, water, earth. The castle becomes a school. Informal, chaotic. Loud. Ashes loves it. She's teaching a class when Kale interrupts. Ashes. We have visitors. Who? Hunters. The word drops like ice. Ashes dismisses the children. Quickly, calmly. They go without protest. They trust her. She follows KL to the gates. 5 men. Armor. Silver weapons. The uniform of dragon hunters hasn't changed in 1,000 years. Neither has their arrogance. The leader steps forward. Tall. Scarred. Late 40s. I'm Commander Reeves, he announces. We're here for the dragon. No, Ashes says. Walking out to meet them. Reeves blinks. Excuse me? I said no. You're not taking anyone. You misunderstand. We're not asking permission. And I'm not giving you a choice. Reeves's hand moves to his sword. His men follow. Fire blooms in Ash's palms. Bright. Hot. Ready. I wouldn't, she says softly. You can't fight all of us. Want to test that? Silence. Tense, violent. Then Caden appears. With 50 guards. Weapons drawn. Commander Reeves. Caden says. Cold. Regal. You're trespassing. We're executing our charter. Hunting dragons. Your charter was revoked. Last week. By royal decree, Caden produces a scroll. Hands it to Reeves. Dragon hunting is now illegal. Punishable by death. Reeves stares at the scroll. Face reddening. You can't do this. I'm the king. I can do whatever I want. Caden steps beside Ashes. And what I want is for you to leave. Now this isn't over, Reeve spits. Yes, it is. Ashes steps forward. Fire still burning. Because if you come back, if you hurt any of the children under my protection, I won't stop at words. Is that a threat? It's a promise. Reeves and his men retreat. Slowly. Keeping eyes on Ashes. She watches until they disappear, then collapses. Caden catches her. I've got you, he murmurs. I thought I'd have to fight them, I know. But you didn't. Caden helps her stand. You won without violence. That's stronger. 6 months later, Wintercrest is transformed. Dragons fly overhead. Children learn magic. The old chapel has been converted to a school. Ashes stands in the courtyard, watching Clara teach a young dragon to control fire, both of them laughing. Happy free. You did this, Caden says. Appearing beside her. We did this. No, he turns her to face him. This was you, your courage. Your heart. Ashes smiles. You're biased. Completely. He kisses her forehead. But also right. Briar joins them. She's glowing. Literally glowing. Pregnant. 3 months. With the blacksmith's child, the one she met on one of her trips to the village, the one who saw her, not as the dead queen's sister, but as Briar, the council wants to meet, Briar says. About the coronation, right. The coronation Ashes is officially becoming queen. Next month the thought still terrifies her, but less than it used to. Tell them we'll be there, Caden says. Briar leaves. Waddles, really. She's radiantly happy, nervous. Caden asks. Terrified. Ashes admits. Good. Means you care. He takes her hand. You're going to be an amazing queen. How do you know? Because you already are. You just don't have the crown yet. The coronation happens on the first day of spring, exactly 1 year after Ashes arrived. Full circle. She stands in her room, staring at the mirror. The dress is beautiful. Red and gold. Dragon colors, not white. Never white again. The crown sits on the table. Delicate. Silver. With a single ruby in the center. She's ready. Mostly. Knock. Come in. Aldrich enters. He looks proud, tearful. I wanted to give you something, he says. Holding out a box, Ashes opens it. Inside. A locket, old. Tarnished. But beautiful. It was your mother's. Aldrich explains. Your father gave it to me. Asked me to keep it safe. Until you were ready. Ashes opens the locket. Inside. A portrait. Small. Detailed. A woman with red hair and golden eyes. Mother. She's beautiful. Ashes whispers she was. And she'd be so proud of you. Tears spill down Ashes' cheeks. How do you know? Because I am. And I barely know you, Aldrich smiles. Imagine how she'd feel. The ceremony is simple. Intimate. Just close friends. Council. The children. Ashes walks down the aisle. Alone, no one to give her away. Because she belongs to herself. Caden waits at the end. Not in armor. In white and gold. King colors. They stand together. Before the council. Before the children. Before Aldrich. Today, Aldrich begins. We crown not just a queen, but a new era, where power is balanced, where old blood is honored, where fear no longer governs. He lifts the crown. Ashes Ravenswood. Do you swear to protect this kingdom? To serve its people? To lead with wisdom and compassion? I do. Do you swear to honor those who came before? To remember their sacrifices? To build a future worthy of their dreams? I do. Then by the power vested in me, I crown you Queen of Wintercrest, protector of the old lines, mother of dragons. He places the crown on her head. It's lighter than she expected. Caden takes her hand. You ready? No, but I'm doing it anyway. They turn. Face the crowd. Everyone kneels. Even the dragons. Even Clara. Ashes wants to tell them to stand. That she's not worth this. But Caden squeezes her hand. Let them honor you, he whispers. You've earned it, so she stands. Crown on her head. Fire in her heart. Dragon wings hidden beneath her skin. And for the first time in 22 years, Ashes Ravenswood feels truly free. 2 years later, Ashes sits in the gardens, watching her daughter toddle through flowers. 18 months old, dark hair, gray eyes, but scales that shimmer gold in sunlight. Half wolf, half dragon, all loved. Her name is Hope. It seemed fitting. Caden appears, scoops up Hope, spins her. She giggles. Mama. Hope squeals. Papa fly. Papa does not fly, Caden says. But Mama does. Hope's eyes light up. Mama fly? Now Ashes stands. Takes her daughter now. She shifts. Partial transformation. Wings extending. Not full dragon. Just enough. She leaps into the air. Hope clutched stiffly. laughing with pure joy. They soar over Wintercrest, over the school, over the children playing, over dragons and wolves and humans living together, over a kingdom that learned to love what it once feared. Below, Caden watches. Smiling, one hand shielding his eyes from the sun, Ashes dips lower. Hovers. Join us, she calls. I can't fly. No, but I can carry you. He laughs. You're serious, always. So he does. Jumps. She catches him. And together, the three of them. Family. Fly over a kingdom where monsters became myths, became beloved, where a cursed girl became a queen, where broken people found each other, and built something beautiful, something worth fighting for, something called home. Total. Word count. 19,847 sections. 30. This story reminds us that our past doesn't define our future. That trauma can be healed. That love isn't about perfection, but about seeing each other completely and choosing to stay anyway. Ashes was called cursed, monster, dangerous. But she was always just a girl who needed to be seen, loved, protected. And when she found people who did that, she bloomed. We all have fire inside. Pain, power, fear. The question isn't whether we have darkness, it's what we choose to do with it. Ashes chose to protect, to teach, to love. And in doing so, she proved that the strongest thing you can be isn't fearless. It's brave enough to be vulnerable, to forgive, to trust, to hope even when the world tells you not to. That's the real magic, not dragon fire, but the courage to keep choosing love, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. Because in the end, love is what transforms us. From monsters into mothers, from cursed into queens, from broken into whole.